We're ready, Your Honor.
All right, very good. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August the 20th, 2011, 10 a.m., and I'm Judge Daniel Nagel. This is the Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. First, going to explain to you what a first appearance is, and it is an informative hearing. It is not an evidentiary hearing. What that means is this is going to be me giving you information about your case and some of the next steps and how to proceed. It is not going to be an opportunity for you to present evidence, call witnesses, explain to me the facts and circumstances of your case, talk about why you shouldn't have been arrested, why the police officers got it wrong, what defenses you may have. You're going to save that information for a later date and discuss that with the lawyer that's going to be defending you in your case. This is being broadcast and recorded online. So if you start talking about your case, the solicitor's office, the district attorney's office, or a law enforcement agency could come back and watch this and use those statements against you or prepare your case in a different way because you're talking about how you're going to beat the charges or defend, okay? So the first piece of information that I'm going to give you is let you know what you are being charged with and if those charges are felonies or misdemeanors, okay? I'm then going to let you know what your bond is if you are getting a bond on those charges. Next, I'll go over if there are any special conditions of your bond. The most common types of special conditions are a no contact with a certain person. If you are to have no contact with a person, act as if they do not exist in this world. The reason you want to do that is because if you do have contact with that person, not only do you run the risk of catching new charges, but also you run the risk of not getting a bond on those charges and or having your bond revoked on these charges. So if you're told to not have any contact with someone, do not have any contact with them. It does not matter if they're related to you. It does not matter if you share children together. None of any of that matters. And no contact means no contact. Don't call them. Don't text them. Skype, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Kik, Twitter, whatever creative way that you think that you can have contact with this person, they will tell on you. And they're probably going to have the evidence of you contacting them. And it's going to lead to consequences that you probably do not want. So do not have contact with them. Also, if you are told to not return back to a certain location, same thing, don't go back to that location. Sometimes it's a business, sometimes it's a residence. Now, some of you may have a do not return to a location, and that is your residence, okay? If that is the case, then I will discuss with you how you can get your property from that residence, but you have to do it in a legal way. Almost always, I will put in the bond condition in your bond order that you can return to that residence to get your belongings, but you must be accompanied by the Clayton County Sheriff's Department or some other law enforcement agency, okay? You just can't go there and say, the judge said I could come and get my stuff, here I am. That's not how it works, okay? Now, if that is your residence, later on down the road, when you speak with your attorney, you can have them file a motion for contact or no violent contact or to go back to the residence or whatever the case may be. But again, that is not the steps that are going to be taken today. So if you're ordered to not have any contact or to stay away from a certain location, you must follow that until either another judge signs off on that change or your case is resolved and there aren't any conditions on you to stay away from that person or that location. I'm also going to let you know when your next court date is. Pay attention. Your next court date is going to be on September the 12th if you only have misdemeanor charges. If you have any felony charges, then your next court date is going to be on September the 13th, okay? But if you bond out of jail before those dates, you do not need to appear for the preliminary hearing court date, which is September the 12th or September the 13th. You will get notification in the mail of when your next court date will be. Most likely that will be an arraignment. So if you bond out before the 12th or the 13th, you don't have to appear for that court date. Let's see what else. Oh, I will also go over with you how you want to proceed with an attorney. You have the right to represent yourself or to hire your own attorney, or you can apply for a court-appointed attorney. You should have been given an application for a court-appointed attorney. If you didn't fill it out, I can only assume that either A, you want to represent yourself, B, you want to hire your own attorney, because there's no other reason why you wouldn't have filled it out. If you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney while speaking with me, then I may have to ask you some questions, okay? Which slows down the process for yourself and everyone else. So that's why it was important to fill that out if you wanted a court-appointed attorney before we started this proceeding. I am not able to give you legal advice. So if you ask me about, what should you do to, collect evidence, or how you should, what defenses you may have, I can't help you. All right. So don't ask me about it. Some other common questions that I get is about the bonding. I, again, cannot give you legal advice, but I can share some information with you about the bonding procedure or process, just being an attorney for over a decade in this area. Most bonding companies charge somewhere between 10 and 20% of whatever your bond amount is. So for example, if your bond is $1,000, 10% of that is $100. 20% of that is $200. So if you use 1,000 as your baseline, you can figure out that the bond will be somewhere between 100 and 200. That is not set by law. That is not set by statute. There's nothing to enforce it. If a bonding company wanted to charge you 40%, I think they could. I don't know 100%. I'm just giving you some general tips because these are questions that I get asked a lot. How much is my bond going to be with a bonding company? I don't know, man. 10 to 20% is generally what you can count on. I cannot tell you what requirements they want, whether it can be a friend, a family member, how long they've been in the state, whether you can use real property, whether you can, use this or that. I don't know. Okay. So don't waste my time. Don't waste your time, and don't waste everyone else's time asking me questions about the bonding procedure or process, because I've given you all the information that I know and that I can give you. Also, please do not ask about lowering bonds or own recognizance bonds. I appreciate everyone, who asks. Of course, you want a lower bond or you want a recognizance bond. I already assume that that's what you would want, right? Nobody if you could get out for free or for as little as possible, then that would make you very happy. All right. I already assume that that's what you want. I have already gone through all the charges, the committal documents, the criminal histories, and things like that. So just assume that I have already heard you ask me for that, and still came with that information. As far as Ms. Hayes, if she's to go, then she can be released. I know that her paperwork was turned in earlier. So if she's still there, then she can continue with what she needs to continue with. Yes, thank you. Let's see. So you'll make a determination on whether you want to have your own attorney or a court-appointed attorney, or you want to represent yourself, which is not advisable. And then at the very end, if you need to ask me a question, you can. I will always give you an opportunity to ask the question, but it'll be the last thing I do when I speak to you individually. So in the beginning, if you want to ask me something, just be patient and wait. I'll get to it. I've done this for a very long time, and there's nobody that I haven't asked, do you have any questions? But keep in mind, I'm not going to be able to help you on a lot of things, just the information that I have gone over with you, and how you want to proceed with a lawyer. Okay. So don't waste your time, my time, and everybody else's time asking me questions that I'm not going to be able to answer, because I'm most likely going to cut you off. Okay. Because this is over the internet and via Zoom, there may be a little bit of a delay. So when I am speaking with you, make sure you speak loudly, clearly. Wait maybe 1 second between when I stop talking before you start talking. That way we're not talking over each other. I promise I won't. I will do my best not to interrupt you, but you have to speak loudly and clearly, and wait for me to finish before you start speaking. Okay. And I do need verbal responses, not head shakes or head nods or anything of that sort. Yes, no, etc. Okay. Now, before we begin, I just need everyone to participate, please, by raising your right hand and swearing or affirming that the statements that you make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You can say, I do. All right, so we'll start with the female side first. We have less of them and we can knock them out faster, and then we'll begin with the male side.
Hey, let's see a piece about this.
Okay, what's your name, ma'am?
Azaria Brown.
Okay, Miss Brown, looks like you are here and there's some other people that are here from this big incident. It's a lot going on this one, but you are charged with one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $3,000. One misdemeanor count of criminal trespass, the bond is $2,000. And one misdemeanor count of cruelty to children, the misdemeanor, the bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $6,000, okay? Now, you are not to have any contact with Nija Sullivan or Mariah Sullivan, okay? So you heard what I said about that. Do not have any contact with those people. You do not stay at that Flat Shoals address, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you have any belongings there or no?
No.
Okay, good. So there's no reason for you to be over there. Very good. So don't go back to that address, okay? Okay. All right. Your next court date is going to be on September the 12th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court.
You want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, I am going to grant that request for you. Do you have any questions?
No, but I am in school. I'm in college.
Okay, where do you go to college?
Alabama State University.
Okay, I got it. Are you going to be able to make your bond?
Yes.
Okay, well then that shouldn't be an issue for you. I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of things, these aren't super serious charges, but they're serious enough because obviously look at where you are. But you know, you'll work that out through a bonding company or whatever. Just make sure that the address that you give them is going to be one where you can get updates on your case. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I know, you know, you're not to have any contact with the people that I mentioned, and you'll get a copy of it. And then the people, some of the other people are not to have any contact with you. Okay. So I don't know what went on, but it's a lot of mess going on. And I mean, you're in college, you're an adult. You have to act in accordance with that. So just make sure that you have a good address. Talk to your lawyer on what you should do and shouldn't do and stuff like that, and let the process play out. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Brown. Don't come back. All right. What's your name?
Aisha Cochran.
All right, Ms. Cochran. Let me see here. You were part of the Miss Brown ordeal. You were charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. I'm dismissing your case. And I should have made this announcement to everyone, but that's okay. I'll just have the conversation with the people as they come up. The document that was used, basically the information that I have in front of me, I don't know what it is that you did. I have no idea. Now, maybe you did something, maybe you didn't. That's not up to me, but I don't have enough, in my opinion, to keep these charges. Now, they could be brought back if more information is presented. I believe the statute of limitations is 2 years on misdemeanors. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they won't. I'm not going to tell anybody to. I'm not going to tell anybody not to. Okay. But as it stands right now, I'm dismissing the charges against you specifically. But I just want to let you know they could come back. So as long as you behave yourself and you don't get in any more trouble and you don't have any other courts that want you, you'll be free to go once your paperwork is processed, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Cothran, again, just like I told Ms. Brown a second ago, all of it appears that everyone that is involved in this is an adult. Y'all just need to act accordingly because things can get very wild, and the last thing you want is to be on the news for a leading headline, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, all right, good luck to you, and please don't ever come back.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name?
Nikia Farrell.
Ms. Farrell. All right, you were not involved in that incident, so you have something else going on. You are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of simple battery. Again, it is a misdemeanor. I am going to set the bond at $3,000. You are not to have any contact with Connie Colton, okay? So do not have any contact with that person. Also, it looks like the Leafwood Lane, that's your address, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to put in here that if you need to get any belongings from there, then you can do so with the sheriff's department. Okay. You just can't go there by your, go there by yourself and say that you want to get your stuff. You have to do it the right way. Or you can have somebody go there and pick up your belongings. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't go back to that address until your case is either resolved or a motion is filed by your attorney. So if you get stuff, you can go and get it. All right. Now your next court date is on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appeal for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointment.
Okay. Miss Farrell, approximately do you earn per month?
Yeah, $1,000 maybe.
Okay. All right. I had to ask because you filled out most of your form, but just not the last part. Okay, then I will grant you a court appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Miss Farrell.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Kimberly Harden.
All right, Miss Hardman. You were charged with 1 felony count of kidnapping. The bond is $15,000. 1 felony count of false imprisonment. The bond is $5,000. 1 misdemeanor count of simple battery. The bond is $5,000. 1 count of possession of a firearm during commission of a crime. That's a felony. The bond is $2,500. 1, reckless conduct. The bond is $2,000. Misdemeanor. Failure to yield the right of way. The bond is $500. Misdemeanor. Expired or no license, plate or decal. Misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000. And possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000. So your total bond is 15 plus 5 is 20, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32. If I did this correctly, the total bond is $32,000. Now, you are not to have any contact with Liddell Williams. Okay, so do not have any contact with that person. Your next court date is on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to represent, or you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed attorney.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you. What's your name?
Selena Jones.
All right, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of reckless conduct. The bond on that charge is $2,000. You are charged with one count of aggravated assault, which is a felony. I'm not going to grant a bond on that charge. Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
Why wasn't I given a bond on the other?
Based on the seriousness of it, I mean, I have to take in consideration everybody else that's ever come before me. And based on that, I have not given a bond on anyone with allegations like that. So I have to be consistent on it. And, those are very serious allegations. I'm not saying that you're guilty, but there was enough evidence for me to move the case forward. And based on that, I'm not going to grant a bond. Now, on the 13th, there'll be another opportunity for that, for your attorney to negotiate with the state, but I'm not going to take that risk right now. Okay? All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name?
No, you don't have to
Trevay.
talk loud.
Okay.
Trevay Lock. Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lott, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of reckless conduct. I am going to grant a bond of $2,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Janicia Dorsey. This is kind of similar to one of the first young lady. There was a lot going on here. Again, this isn't saying that you're guilty or not guilty or anything like that. It's just the standard is much lower. Okay. So you're going to want to speak with your lawyer about how to proceed in your case, but do not have any contact with Miss Janicia Dorsey. Do y'all stay at the same place or no? Is that address the same place?
I'm guessing she stays in the apartment complex. I stay in the front building. She stays in the back building.
Okay. Got it. Understood. Okay. Well, then I'm not gonna. Don't go. I mean, you have a stay away provision from her, right?
Yeah.
This isn't a family situation. So, I don't want to kick you out of your own home. That doesn't make any sense because that's not where she is. But, don't go back there looking for trouble. Okay. I mean, you're grown up, your next court date is on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Let's see here. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
A court appointed.
Okay. Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you. All right, what's your name?
Kim Permenter.
All right, Ms. Permenter, you're charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. I am going to set a bond of $2,000. Let's see. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Mr. H.T. Tollett. Let's see. Do y'all reside at the same address?
Yes, sir. He's the overseer of my SSI.
Do you have anywhere else?
Ma'am, Miss her.
Do you have anywhere else that you can go?
Do I have any else where I can go? Yeah, I could
Okay.
go somewhere else. Can I
Okay.
sign my own bond?
No.
Well, I can't go nowhere.
If and when you do bond out, just make sure you don't return back to that address where all this happened.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And don't have any contact with him. Your next court date is on September the 12th. But if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
How much is it for me to get a bond?
I'm sorry?
How much is it for me to pay for a bond out?
Well, the bond is 2,000, so it's somewhere between 10 and 20% typically if you go through a bonding.
200 if I go to a bonding company?
Approximately.
I'm gonna try to do that.
Okay. What do you want to do about a lawyer?
I need a lawyer.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
No, sir, I get an SSI check.
Okay.
You
I
didn't
got
hear me about HTO, he's the overseer over my check, and he telling me not to go back there, but that's where my mail goes to, my money from my government check, and he's the overseer over it. I mean, I don't understand none of this, but I had to go back there.
Well, you can have somebody else.
That's where I live.
I understand.
No, you don't. You can't. It's where I live.
I listen.
I have a situation at home. Somebody at home. help me
Stop
with
talking.
the situation.
Stop.
Hey, stop talking, man. Don't say nothing else.
I won't.
Alright.
I have to treat you just like the hundreds of people that came before you. So
Hey, don't say nothing.
you telling me that you're not going to get anywhere arguing with me. Now don't say anything. Don't make a facial expression. Don't roll your eyes. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. You stand there like a statue. Let me explain to you what's about to happen. And then you go about your business.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to grant you a court-appointed attorney. See, I was going to try to help you, but now you can just figure it out. Don't violate the bond order. Good luck to you.
What's he saying?
Have a good one. Get out in front
But
of the
what did
camera.
he say? What did he say to me? He
Pay
said,
attention.
he's gonna do what?
All right. What's your name, ma'am?
They don't always do it to nobody. What you do?
All right, Miss Sullivan. You were charged with 1 misdemeanor count of battery. I am going to grant a bond of 3,000. Now we're back to the Azaria Brown thing. Did you hear what I told them?
No, can you repeat hers again?
Well, no, not because I'm being rude. It's just, it doesn't concern you. But basically some of y'all, I mean, you're all charged with misdemeanors. You're all got a bond. It's all around the same thing.
Right.
The real issue is, I don't know what happened here, the backstory and things like that. But listen, you all are grown ups. Y'all don't need to be coming to jail for this. Whatever it is, it can't possibly be this serious, because look at where you all ended up. Everybody, So here's the deal. I don't know if you know her, but just don't have any contact with her, okay? I'm assuming that y'all do not live together. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, got it. So she's not supposed to have contact with some people with your last name. I'm assuming it may be a sister or mom or something of yours, but I remember, she's not supposed to have any contact with, hold on. Nijah Sullivan and Mariah Sullivan, okay?
Yeah,
You're Sullivan, so I'm going to assume that's your sister or your mom.
that's my cousin.
Okay, I figured. Well, anyway, y'all just don't have anything to do with each other. I have a sneaky suspicion of what all this is related to, but again, I don't know for sure. So, y'all chill out, let the process play itself out, and don't get in any more trouble. Your next court date is on September the 12th. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Hire an attorney.
Okay. Do you know who it's going to be or
Not yet.
Okay, that's fine. Well, when you do, just make sure that, excuse me, that they pay, that they put in their paperwork so they know what to do for you. Okay, do you have any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, all right, good luck to you. Please don't come back.
Oh, yeah. She can.
All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Anaya Williams.
All right, Miss Williams. You are charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is 3,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with a Mr. DeMarco Mullen Jr.
That's fine, that's it.
It looks like, do you have somewhere else that you can go?
No.
Well, it looks like y'all both reside there and I can't let you go back. So you're gonna have to unfortunately find somewhere else to go, at least until your case is resolved, or through a lawyer, they can file a motion to modify your bond conditions, okay? So until that happens, just don't return back to that address and don't have any contact with that person. Your next court date is going to be on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Point appointed.
Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
Will I be able to be escorted by someone to get my belongings?
I'm sorry?
Will I be able to be escorted by someone to get my belongings?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you get a copy of your bond order, it literally has on there, you need to go up to the sheriff's office and make an appointment. They will personally go with you to get your stuff. That way, nothing bad happens to you, nothing rowdy happens at that location, and nothing happens to the community at large. So yes, that will happen.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, man. All right, what's your name?
Tiffany Williams.
Okay. All right, Ms. Williams, you were originally charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. Oh, this was the you're here with someone else. What was the young lady's name?
Zaria Brown.
Yeah, it's part of that big situation. I'm dismissing the case against you because I don't know what it is that I don't understand the paperwork that was given to me about you. Now, this is not saying that you're not guilty or anything like that. I'm just saying the way that it was presented to me, I feel like I don't have enough to keep it. Now, they could bring these charges back within 2 years. I don't know if they will or if they won't. I'm not going to tell them to. It's none of my business, okay? But just know that that is a possibility. Also, like I told everyone else, all of y'all are grown-ups. Y'all need to act like it. Whatever it is that was going on between everybody involved, that doesn't make a lot of sense for everybody to end up in the Clayton County Jail. So, just act accordingly. If things get out of control, then people need to remove themselves from the situation, because it could have gotten a lot worse and ended up on the news lead story. So, as long as you don't have anything over you and you don't get in any more trouble while you're there, you'll be free to go once we process everything. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions? Okay. All right, Miss Wims. Good luck to you. Don't come back.
I hate when you do that.
All right. All right, what's your name, sir?
Dewan Black.
Hold on. What is it?
Dewan Black.
One. Oh, okay. I had somebody else. Had a view, but that's okay. All right, sir. You were charged with, let's see, one misdemeanor count of VGCSA. The bond is 1,000. Looks like it's a felony count of obstruction. The bond is 3,000, and then one possession with intent, VGCSA felony. The bond is 2,000. So your total bond is $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Be offered one.
Okay.
Bond.
All right, I'm going to grant that request. Do you have any questions?
Can you repeat the bond again?
Yes, on your total bond is 6,000. Okay. All right, anything else? All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, what's your name?
Beeman.
All right, Mr. Beeman, you are charged with inmate in possession. Give me just 1 second. All right, sir. Basically, you're charged one felony count of being in possession of legal contraband while in the jail. Normally, I don't grant bonds on something like this, but I am going to grant a bond of $10,000. I don't know what you're there for or how long you're going to be there, so I don't know if that matters to you or not. But the next court date is going to be on September the 13th. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
It don't matter. Court appointed, sir.
Okay. Well, you didn't fill it out. I'm just going to go ahead. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and grant that. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Brian.
All right. What's your name?
Brian.
Justin Bryant.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You're charged with one count of disorderly conduct. Let's see here. The bond is $1,500. Do not have any contact with Miss Monica Porter. Who is that to you? Is that somebody that you know or don't know?
I know her. She my caregiver.
Oh, I see. I got you. All right. Let's see. Do you have, well, your next court date is going to be on September the 12th. But if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. Do you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney? What would you like to do?
I would have to hire an attorney.
Okay. All right. I will mark that. All right. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's your question?
Will I be able on my next court date? Will I be able to, like, will my case be closed or something like that?
Well, so your next court date, if you do not bond out of jail, your next court date is your preliminary hearing. That's an evidentiary hearing where you can present evidence or make the state present evidence. Is there a possibility that the case could be closed there? Yes, but there's no guarantee. But if you do bond out, your next court date is most likely going to be an arraignment, and that will be in state court with the Solicitor General's office. And then there, your lawyer can discuss options with you about whether you want to resolve your case or whether you have any defenses, if they need to file any motions or things like that. So I can't tell you for certain whether your case is going to be closing your next court date or not, but it could be. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Richard Bruner. No, take it back. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Brenner, you are charged with one felony count of exploitation of an elderly person. I am going to set a bond of 10,000, and one looks like, I believe this is a misdemeanor count of theft by taking. Let me confirm. Yes, I am going to set a bond of 2,000. So the total bond is $12,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Brenda Weemort or Debbie Cook. I don't even know if you know Debbie, but don't have any contact with Miss Weemort. Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that. Let's see. Do you, okay, never mind. Do you need to get anything from that 527 McDonough Road address?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Well then, just do not return back to that address, okay?
All right.
All right. Do you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney? What would you like to do?
Court appointed attorney.
Okay, I will grant that request. All right. Do you have any questions?
My total bond again?
12,000.
All right, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
David Dawson, sir.
All right, Mr. Dawson. Mr. Dawson, you, let's see. Almost had all misdemeanors. You just have one felony count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. I am going to set a bond at. Do you give you benefit of doubt? I was going to set it at 5,000, but I'm actually going to set it at 3,000 on that particular charge. Okay. On the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is 1,000. Drug-related object, the bond is 1,000. Defective headlights, 500, and no tag or expired or invalid tag, the bond is 500. So your total bond is 3, 4, 5, 6, $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is on September the 13th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I would like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney right now, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Well, I will grant that request for you, Mr. Dawson. Do you have any questions about your case?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dawson, good luck to you. Please don't come back. All right, what's your name, sir?
Mark Dukes.
Dukes. All right, Mr. Dukes, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. I am going to grant bond in your case. The bond is going to be 5,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Quantisha Chance. Okay. Let's see here. Your next court date is on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
Nah, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dukes, good luck to you.
All right.
All right, what's your name, sir?
All right, Edwards.
Edward, you are also charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is going to be 5,000. Oh, this is the Zaria Brown situation. Yeah, I think you're the only male inmate related to this whole incident. I basically told the females, look, y'all are way too grown for whatever happened. Look, man, I see your reaction. I assume that you agreed at least somewhat. And I told them that nobody needs to be in the Clayton County Jail or any jail for that matter, for whatever it is that the backstory is. I don't want to hear it. Save it for your attorney, just like for them. But I have a suspicion of what goes on just because I'm old enough to kind of piece things together and I've done this long enough, right? But for you and everybody involved, y'all don't need to be here for that. Everybody's grown. You know, if things are getting heated or whatever, remove yourself from the situation, okay? Don't have any contact with her, okay? It seems to me like she doesn't even live permanently in the state of Georgia, at least right now from what she said. So, you know, y'all just stay away from each other, okay? She's not supposed to have contact with some people as well. So everybody just needs to chill, relax, and let the process play out, okay? Your next court date is September the 12th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
Total bond 5K, right?
Yes, sir. All right, good luck to you. Don't come back. All right, what's your name, sir?
Jeff Evans.
All right. Looks like you just have a couple of misdemeanor offenses here. One for a stop or yield sign violation, the bond is 500. One for a tag violation, the bond is 500. Initially, your paperwork came in, it says felony obstruction. I'm not making it, it's a misdemeanor
That's it. That's what
at most. So I'm sending a bond of $1,000. So your total bond is 2,000, okay? All right. Your next court date is on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I do a court-appointed.
Okay. You filled everything out. I appreciate that. Have you ever served in the military?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, all right. I couldn't tell if that was a yes or a no on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me just a second. Can't get rid of this cough. All right. Give me 1 second, Mr. Evans. You know, sometimes, Mr. Evans, I get things that in front of me that I don't necessarily like. Unfortunately, it's not my job to do what I like or what I don't like. I have to follow the law. Okay. And that was, you know, really the main reason why I made it from the felony to the misdemeanor. Might have gone a little bit further, but you know, unfortunately, I do have to follow the law. All right. You're going to be able to make your bond?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. All right, Mr. Evans, do you have any questions?
None whatsoever.
Okay. All right, sir. Well, you know, listen, these things kind of happen. I'm glad it didn't turn out worse for anybody.
Exactly.
But, you don't look like somebody that's going to be coming back. So hopefully I don't see you in these circumstances ever again. Just be mindful of, you know, who you're dealing with and how you deal with them. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. What's your name?
Eric Evans.
Wait a minute. Are you related to the gentleman that just? Oh,
I was on the way to see my dad.
That's your dad?
That's okay.
I got it. Well, guess what? I'm dismissing both the charges against you.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Now, you know, look, again, things come before me that I like and don't like. It's not my job, but I had enough for your dad, but the standards are different. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But for you, I don't believe I have enough for these particular charges. So as long as you don't get yourself in any more trouble, and you don't have anything holding you, you'll be good to go. Just, just like I told him, y'all, you got to be mindful when you're interacting with people and things like that. And, I'm a big believer of asserting your rights and standing up for them. But sometimes asserting your rights have consequences, unfortunately. But I like to think that we get it right in correcting those wrongs. Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Evans, be very careful and, don't come back. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Jermaine Garrison, sir.
All right, Mr. Garrison. All right, sir. Looks like you had initially is a bunch of traffic violations and then some drug charges on it. All right. I'm gonna go through this and then I'll give you your total bond, okay? On the unregistered tag or unlicensed tag, the bond is $1,000. No insurance, the bond is $1,000. License not on person, the bond is $1,000. Driver's vision obstructed, $500. All of the violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, all the drug charges, the bond is $3,000. Misdemeanor obstruction, $1,500, and then use or possession of drug-related objects, $1,000. So your total bond is going to be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. If I did this correctly, the total bond should be 18. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the total bond is $18,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed, sir.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No way I could be lowered.
No, unfortunately, it's pretty low given the circumstances. It's in line with what we do around here. So,
Yes, sir.
all right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Joshua Glaze.
Mr. Glaze. You are charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is $3,000. One misdemeanor count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and one, let me see, felony count of false imprisonment. Oh, I see. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Angela Baker. Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Not sure.
Well, I mean, you don't want to represent yourself. I'm assuming that, right?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
What is my bond? And do
Total bond is $6,000. All right, anything else?
That's all.
All right, good luck to you. All right, what's your name?
Robert Gooden.
Okay, Mr. Gooden, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of simple battery. The bond, I am gonna grant a bond of $2,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Reginald Swinger. Your next court date is going to be on September 12th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. What's your address?
5209 Collinwood Terrace.
Okay. This other person, who is that? Is that a relative or a roommate or what?
That's my stepson.
Got it. Do you have anywhere else that you could stay? Because I can't let you stay back there. Let's see. How old's your stepson?
42.
Are you currently employed?
No, sir.
Have you ever served in the military before?
No.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many are under the age of 18?
None.
Okay. And are you currently married?
Yes. I'm married to Reggie's mother.
Got it. And she lives there too?
Yes. Actually, I'm the one who called the police.
Hmm. I'm gonna put no violent contact, okay? So no violent contact means is you can have contact, but no yelling, screaming, cussing, throwing things, punching holes in walls, kicking chairs and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's good, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put no violent contact. Again, the bond is $2,000. I am gonna grant your request for a court-appointed attorney.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? Okay. All right, Mr. Gooden. Good luck to you. Don't come back.
Thank you.
All right. What's your name, sir?
My name is Jerry Hammonds.
Mr. Hammonds. Mr. Hammonds, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of theft by shoplifting. The bond is $1,500. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
No, I don't have the money to pay for the bond. I did ask for a court attorney, a court appointed attorney.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna grant your request for a court appointed attorney. Mr. Hammonds, it's a weird, the allegations are very strange. It's not the most serious thing that I've ever seen, but the allegations are that, you just took a drink and drank it and then told the officers, yeah, you can arrest me. Do you have a place to stay? Do you have a place to live?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's a distinction between yeah and yes. I try to teach my children that yeah is very informal and yes is very formal. So I appreciate you listening to the deputies there on that. I don't usually take offense to it, but sometimes if you're like, yeah, it's just, come on, man, we're in court. Okay. Can you make any bond, Mr. Hammonds?
I don't have any money. I mean, unless I had got a signature bond, but no, I don't have no money.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, again, I would do you a solid and lower it down to 500, but I don't know if that's going to help you or not.
I don't have money.
Yeah, no, I understand you don't. And unfortunately, there's nothing that I can personally do about that. I'll tell you what, do you have friends or family members in Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, yeah. See, you gotta remember. Well, I'm gonna do you a solid and lower it to 500, which is literally the lowest it could possibly be. And I mean, really, that's all I can do for you. I am going to grant your request for a court-appointed attorney. Your next court date is on September the 12th. And that's all I can do for you, really. I mean, do you have any questions?
Okay, but by that time, I should get time served, all right?
Well, I mean, that's not up to me. That's up to the solicitor's office. So, I mean, the answer to your question is maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
You say about my next court date September 12th?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Johnny Harris.
Mr. Harris. Oh, you just have a license charge. Your bond is 1,500. You're gonna be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Your next court date is going to be on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. This is one of the most minor charges you can have. However, if you keep racking them up, they can turn into a felony. So just make sure that you get your license taken care of. That way you don't keep getting pulled over and then end up racking up a felony, okay? All right, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Good morning, Martin Jimenez.
All right, let's see. Mr. Jimenez. All right, so you are charged with one count of improper lane change. The bond is 500. One count of driving under the influence. The bond is 4,000, and one count of license not on person. All misdemeanors. The bond is 400. So your total bond is $5,000. Your next court date is on September the 12th. But if you pay that before then, you will not need to appear for that specific court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'll hire my own attorney.
Okay. Do you know who it's going to be yet or no?
Yeah, but I don't remember his name.
That's okay. All right. Well, just make sure that when you hire him, that he files the appropriate paperwork so the court system knows to be in contact with him and with you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, I'll just pay the bond, right? How much do you say was total bond? 5,000?
Total bond is 5,000. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you. What's your name?
Sean Jackson.
All right. Let's see. All right, sir, you are charged with one felony count of entering auto. The bond is 8,500. One misdemeanor count of giving a false name. The bond is 1,500. So your total bond is 10,000. Do not have any contact with Cedric Duncan. I'm assuming you don't even know who that is, do you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, just make sure that you don't have any contact with them, which shouldn't be a problem for you. Next court date is on September 13th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. What's your, what year were you born?
2003.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure. All right, Mr. Jackson, you're a young adult, but you are still an adult, and you're way too old to be even remotely associated with anything like this. So I hope to never see you again in these circumstances. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. What's your name, sir?
Mr. Kitchen.
Mr. Kitchens. All right, sir, you just have a rather long list of traffic offenses. I just want to confirm. It looks like the only felony count is the fleeing and eluding. Okay, so that'll make your next court date on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now I did that part out of order. Now I'm going to go over the bond with you. Improper lane change or turn signal violation. The bond is 500. Hit and run. The bond is 3,000. Failure to have on headlights 1,000. Another improper lane change 1,000. No insurance 1,000. Speeding 2,500. Fleeing and eluding 3,500. No license 1,000. Tag violation 500. Seatbelt 500. Too fast conditions 500, and reckless driving 2,000. So your total bond is going to be let's see, 35, 45, 55, 65, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5, 13, 5, 14, 15, 16, 17. If I did my math correctly, the total bond is $17,000, okay?
Sir.
All right. Your next court date is again September the 13th. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for an appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I want to hire an attorney, but for now, I applied for a court appointed.
Okay. Yeah, and that's fine. You can always switch it up later if that's what you want to do. No worries. All right. I'm going.
So 10% of that is about 1,800.
10% is 1,700, 20% is 2,400. So somewhere between 3,400. So somewhere between 1,700 and 3,400 is about what you're looking at. You know, again, that's not set in stone. Don't hold me to it. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm going to grant your request for a court appointed attorney. You know, Mr. Kitchens, there's people here on, you know, way more serious stuff than this. Is just driving offenses, but you know, I do practice outside of doing this. And it could have ended up a lot worse for yourself or someone else. So, you know, yes, they're just driving offenses, but they can be extremely serious and lead to really, really bad things. So just make sure that, you know, look, man, getting a ticket for no license or whatever is it's a lot less charges, and your bond's a lot lower than all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So get your license situation taken care of, drive safely on the road for yourself and for others. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Kitchens. All right. What's your name? Got you. All right, Mr. Love, you are charged with 1 count of VGCSA, marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is 1,000. 1 count possession of firearm during commission of a crime, bond is 3,500. No tag, the bond is 500, and then 1 more violation of the Controlled Substances Act, the bond is 3,000. So your total bond is $8,000. Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I applied to hire one, but I applied for a court appointed, but I'll probably hire one.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll move forward with the court appointed, then you can switch it up if that's what you want to do, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Okay. All right, sir. I will go ahead and grant that request. Do you have any questions?
Sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Love. All right. What's your name?
Cardo.
Oh, Martinez Arellano.
Your Honor.
All right. I got you. All right, sir. You're charged just with wait, let me make sure. 1 count of speeding, the bond is 2,500. Let me see. I'm actually going to change that from 2,500 to 1,000. So and then the license charge is 1,000. So your total bond is $2,000. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Your next court date is going to be on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now, these are just driving offenses, but they still carry a penalty of 12 months each. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or would you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
I hire an attorney.
Okay. Do you know who it's going to be yet, or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, again, if you bond out, you don't have to appear for your next court date, and just make sure that your lawyer files the appropriate paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name?
Daniel Orozco.
You are charged with just traffic offenses, too fast for conditions, the bond is 500, improper lane change, the bond is 500, seatbelt violation, the bond is 500, and leaving the scene of a collision, I'm actually going to lower that from 3,000 to 1,000. Your total bond is 2,500. Okay. Are you gonna be able to make your bond?
Yes.
Okay. Your next court date is on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I like to hire one.
Okay. Do you know who it's gonna be yet or no?
No, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Well, just like I told the last guy, just make sure that they follow the appropriate paperwork. All right. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Am I able to get a signature bond?
Well, on the leaving the scene charge, the bond was 3,000. I cut it down to 1,000. So your total bond was going to be 4,500. So I basically cut that in half to 2,500 for you. So
how
I
much
feel
would I
it.
be paying?
I'm sorry.
How much would I be paying?
Whatever 10 to 20% is. So 2,500 is 250, 20% is 500. So 250, 500 rough estimate.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Hey, you in front of somebody? In front of you?
Yeah, there.
All right. What's your name?
Skillings.
All right. Mr. Skill, you are charged with one count of simple battery misdemeanor. The bond is $3,500. Do not have any contact with Marie Williams. Also, do not return back to the 612 Gardenwood Drive address. Now, it looks like that's where you have some belongings, so I put in your bond order that you can go back and get your stuff. You just have to do it with the sheriff's department, okay? You just can't go over there by yourself and say, hey, the judge said I could get my stuff, here I am. Or you can just have somebody go and get your stuff for you, okay? Next court date is going to be on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir. All right, what's your name, sir?
Mr. Taylor?
All right, Mr. Taylor. All right, Mr. Taylor, you are charged with one. 1 second. Oh, okay. I remember now. I'm actually gonna do you a solid, Mr. Taylor. All right, you're charged with one violation, Georgia Controlled Substances Act, which is a felony. The bond was gonna be 35, but I'm just gonna make it 2,500. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 1,000, and then open container, the bond is 500. So your total bond is 1, 2, 3. Total bond is 4,000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your next court date is going to be on September the 13th. But if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Give me a court appointed attorney.
Okay. Let me see here.
But I can make bond though. I'll just.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I am. That is perfectly just fine, sir. All right, I'll grant your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name?
Westbrook.
All right. Mr. Westland. Brooke, you were charged with one count of possession of a handgun by a minor, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and possession of an altered ID mark on a handgun. I'm dismissing all the charges against you. Now, this is based on the information that was given to me. I don't think that it's sufficient to have these charges moved to the next step. Now, the statute of limitations on a misdemeanor, I believe, is 2 years. So maybe these charges come back, maybe they don't. I'm not going to tell somebody to do it, and I'm not going to tell somebody not to do it. That's none of my business, okay? However, I do have to make you aware of that. I will say this, let's see, how old are you?
17.
17? You know, you need to be very, very, very careful at your age of who you hang around and what you are doing. Just because this case is dismissed, it's not a technicality. I don't believe in technicalities. There's the law and then there's not the law, okay? And I don't believe that the law was met in this case. So, you know, you may not be as fortunate if you are in a situation like this again. I'm not saying that you're lucky or anything like that, but don't push your luck. I was a DA in Clayton County for almost 4 years, and the most commonly arrested person that I was prosecuting was a black male between the ages of 19 and 26 years old. And guess what? They would come back almost 65% of the time within 3 years. So I imagine you do not being locked up in the Clayton County Jail, correct? I imagine that the food sucks. The people that you're hanging around aren't the best. The conditions aren't great. And, you know, if you're like me, I don't like when people tell me what to do, right? So you control your own destiny, Mr. Westbrook. And you're either A, going to never come back again, or unfortunately, you will come back a lot. I hope this is the first and last time, my man. All right. So as long as you don't have any other things holding you here, behave yourself for the next couple hours so I can get this paperwork over to the jail and you'll be good to go. All right.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Westbrook. I do first appearance a lot, so I hope to never see you in these circumstances. All right. Good luck to you. All right. Give me 1 second, sir. What's your name?
Dario Williams.
You were charged with 1 misdemeanor count of simple battery. The bond is $2,000, and 1 misdemeanor count of public indecency. The misdemeanor of the bond is $2,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Nausea King. It's my understanding that's your sister, correct? Okay. Well, just don't have any contact with her until either your case is resolved or the bond conditions are changed. Do y'all live together or no?
I rent a room out from her, but I have another place to live. It's not something that I have to be there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna put if you want to be able to get your stuff, that's fine. You know, but just don't return back until this situation dies down. And I mean, your case can get resolved, or your attorney can file a motion or whatever if y'all want to get back to having contact with each other. Okay. But I will put, don't go back there, but you can get your stuff. Let me see what else. Oh, your next court date is going to be on September the 12th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I want an attorney, but I could bond out, but it's in property hold. Like, I got the money now to bond out. Because I got to go to work tomorrow. I
got you. I understand. Okay. Well, if you can bond out, hey, I'm not gonna block you from bonding out. That's different than your lawyer, but I'll grant a court-appointed attorney, and then you can bond out, and then they'll meet you on your next court date. Okay.
So basically, I can get my phone so I can bond out. Like, not call nobody. Like, I have the money, but it's in property here with me. Which
I got you.
To bond out so I can be able to go to work tomorrow because I got to be to work at 8 in the morning.
I got you. That's something that if you talk to the deputies, they have the procedure for doing that, because I just don't have any authority over them. Okay. But if you let them know that you'll be able to bond out, I'm sure they can direct you in the right direction. I have no power over the sheriff's department. Okay. I can only tell them whether give them the paperwork that says what your bond is and what your conditions are, and then they have their boss, Sheriff Allen. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
God love you, brother. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Hopefully I don't see you in these circumstances. All right, what's your name, sir?
We all right?
All right, Mr. Wright, you are charged with one count of giving a false name, misdemeanor, and then possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Don't talk while he talking. He got the wrong. Hey, good dog. He said stop talking. Right?
Hold on. Oh, are you Will Wright? That's you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read the wrong charges on you, Mr. Wright. I had the correct but not the correct bond stuff. And we would have gotten there. Oh, well, it doesn't matter because the same thing that's about to happen to you is about to happen to the next guy. I'm dismissing the case against you. Now, listen, the statute of limitations is 2 years. I don't know whether they're going to bring the charges back, but based on what I have in front of me, I don't see enough evidence here. Okay, so you know, it's not a technicality. I don't believe in technicalities. It either is or it ain't. That's how I see things, right? As long as you don't have any holds on you and you don't act up and pick up new charges, by the time this gets to the sheriff's department, you'll be free to go. Do you have any questions?
Oh, sir.
All right. Well, I suggest that you be more careful out there, Mr. Wright, and don't come back.
All
right. What's your name?
Demetrius Young.
Oh, Mr. Woods. All right, Mr. Young. Hold on. Young. Application for Mr. Woods. Hold on. All right, Mr. Young, you are charged with one count of speeding. I'm going to do you the same courtesy that I did the other gentleman before you and lower the bond from 2,500 to 1,000. Okay. You also have no license. Bond is 1,000. So instead of your bond being 3,500, it's only 2,000. Okay. You gonna be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Your next court date is going to be on September the 12th. And if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered a appointed attorney. Okay. What would you like to do?
It comes down to that point, I want the court attorney.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a minor, in the grand scheme of things, it's a really minor charge, but it still carries a penalty of jail and stuff like that.
I understand.
So, you know, it's just like I told everybody else, man, you want to make sure you get your license situation straight, because if you keep doing this and racking it up, eventually it will be a felony. Yeah. And you want to talk about one of the worst reasons to have a felony is just a driving offense. It's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
I got you. And you got to drive in Georgia because everything is so spread out. It ain't like, you know, it's a big city, but it's really not a big city.
Yes, sir.
Especially Atlanta. All right, Mr. Young, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. Young. Get your license taken care of, okay?
I will, sir.
All right. Do we have Mr. Woods?
He's a loan out. He's a loan out.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Woods is a loan out. He was bonded out or loan out.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to dismiss his charges.
Oh, okay.
That's the one who went to the hospital. She said kept crying back onto the hospital.
So is he going to come back or is he gone?
That's a good question. We don't know if he's going to come back or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the building.
Okay. Well,
Woods.
Well, I'm just not going to do anything then. I'm just going to shred this. And,
okay.
Yeah, just leave it like that. And I'll just put on I guess in our email exchanges, we'll just note that he was not seen today because he was not in the building.
Okay.
Okay. Do y'all have anybody else?
No, sir. That's it.
All right. Very good. Well, we ran that one pretty quickly. Not too bad. I appreciate you all and y'all have a good weekend.
You did the same. Thank